Okay, so I've heard some ridiculous claims relating to sandwiches and just foods in general, and I'm just here to answer these ridiculous questions. So here I just have some notes for the video. You don't have to read this. It's just a guide for what I'm going to say. First of all, sandwiches. As said here, a sandwich is two loaves of bread with something in the middle. Buns with cooked meat in the middle arguably do not count. Now, I'm fine with someone calling a burger a sandwich. I disagree, but it's still fair. It makes sense. So, burgers can be sandwiches, but we have the questions here. So, first of all, is a hot dog a sandwich? No, of course not. Why would a hot dog be a sandwich? A hot dog is a hot dog. First of all, um, you can consider the meat in a hot dog just literally a hot dog. It's called that. So that's why it's called a hot dog and not a sandwich. So that basically disproves it. But also, hot dog, that's one piece of bread and it's built completely differently than a loaf of bread. So saying a hot dog is a sandwich doesn't make sense. Now this doesn't apply to subs because subs have the same ingredients as sandwiches. Now, have you ever seen someone put a sausage between two loaves of bread? No, you haven't. Don't tell me you have, because if you tell me that you have, you're lying. If you really have, then you need to. I don't know. I don't know what you have to do, but you have to do something about that. Anyway, is a taco a sandwich? No. Of course, a taco is not a sandwich. As said right here, a taco is a Mexican dish made simply with tasty foods wrapped in a tortilla. Now, if you want to claim that a taco is a sandwich, you're safe in America. But, taco equals sandwich activist, I recommend you go to Mexico and say this. And, see what happens. Because I don't think they'll appreciate that. I don't know if you'll be physically okay after that, but go ahead with your ridiculous ideas. Same with burritos. Burritos, that's a tortilla and it's wrapped. I forgot to include that a taco also has the top open. Burrito is just fully wrapped. Would this make a chicken wrap a burrito? No. They're different because a burrito is cooked. That's the difference. Okay, soup. All I really have to say is no. Soup is soup. Is cereal soup? No, because you eat cereal for breakfast. Sometimes you eat it for dinner. But, cereal is not soup because you get it out of the box and in the bag, you pour it into the bowl. That's not how soup works. With soup, you might get it canned or you might cook it. Cereal isn't cooked at any point, so it can't be soup. What if you have cold soup? Okay, well, was it cooked at one point? I'd assume yeah. If not, that's just weird. Okay, toast. Toast is bread put in a toaster. And also, it may have butter or jam or whatever, but it's still toast. So is pie toast? No. I've heard this before. Pie. How did you come to this conclusion? Because pie. It's called toast because you put it in a toaster. Do you put pie in a toaster? I hope you all agree with me on at least that shrimp is not toast. Yes, I've heard this before too. Shrimp is not toasted. Shrimp is the name of the animal and then it's cooked. Shrimp is shrimp. That's all I have to say. To disprove your ridiculous theories. Or like one person who thought of it at some point. Okay. Tacos. Getting to tacos. Is a sub a taco? Now there's. Oh wait. Also I missed this question. Is a hot dog a taco? No, because there's no tortilla involved. So no, it's not a taco. Is a sub a taco? No, because there's no tortilla involved. So there's got to be a tortilla involved for it to be a taco. And now I prefer soft shell tacos because that's more, it makes more sense because that's how it's eaten in Mexico, and Mexican food is good, so I like to try to eat it as accurately as they do there. Just makes it taste better. But I mean, hard shell, that counts as a taco too. A bad taco, but still a taco. So, a sub is not a taco, a hot dog is not a taco because there's no tortilla involved. Okay, sushi. Now my main point here is none of these are sushi because sushi is seafood wrapped in something. Are fajitas sushi? Just needed a moment of silence for that question, just to think about it. No, of course fajitas aren't sushi, you psychotic individual. In no way are fajitas sushi. That doesn't make any sense at all. Again, like I said before, go to Mexico and say this, see how it turns out. Same thing with burritos and taquitos. These are not sushi. These are all just different types of Mexican foods and the way they're cooked and the way they're prepared and what's inside them and the size. A lot of Mexican foods are similar, but they're also very different in many ways. So this becomes like so complicated when it comes to Mexican food. You can't just say all Mexican food is a sandwich. It doesn't make sense. And categorize it as what it is not. So there's my point. And quiche. Okay. So I just need to explain quiche because there's no questions for quiche that I'm gonna answer, but I've heard things that aren't quiche being called quiche, and it's just not right. So quiche is a French dish. It's not even a broad categorization. It's literally just a dish. And you know what? I actually didn't even notice that I had a question here. So never mind that I don't have a question for quiche. There is one. Is ice cream quiche, like ice cream in a cone? No. I really think that's all I have to say. No. How can ice cream be quiche? Anyone who says this is a babbling idiot. Calzones. Here's how I see calzones. Now, maybe it's not accurate to the actual definition, but calzones to me are just pizza, but completely surrounded by the crust. So, is ravioli a calzone? No, because ravioli is a noodle, which means it can't be a calzone. Are Pop-Tarts calzones? No, Pop-Tarts are, I guess you could call them pastries. Sweet pastries. So no, of course it's not a calzone. Twinkies. Okay, Twinkies are just also, I guess, pastries. You could call them pastries. So, yeah, I don't really know what to say to that because I also wouldn't know what to say if someone just came up to me and started saying a bunch of nonsense words that don't fit together, like cheese, bed, chair. I wouldn't know how to respond to that, just like I don't know how to respond to our Twinkies calzones, because neither of them make any sense at all. So, after that, we get to corn dogs. Are they calzones? No. No. Like, I define calzone as pizza, but completely surrounded by the bread. Corn dog is just a hot dog surrounded by the bread. That's what corn dogs are, not calzones. And surprisingly, I have heard that, oh, wait, corn dogs are calzones, actually. But no, they aren't. And, I think the most ridiculous one is fried chicken a calzone? Now, that's the most nonsensical question that we've answered, what we've tried to answer so far. Fried chicken is chicken fried, not calzone. And after that, cake. Now, I've heard lasagna is a beefcake, and I think it's fine to call lasagna technically a beefcake, but that doesn't mean it fits in with cake as a category. Like, lasagna is only related to cake if you're just classifying it as food or something that exists. But in a specific category, lasagna does not fit in with cake. Is lasagna cake? No. So that concludes this segment, but there's still another. Let's just direct our attention to this chart. Is it a sandwich? Now, I found this online. We have 5 questions about whether these things are sandwiches. First of all, hot dogs. Already answered. Nope. Because there's only one piece of bread involved. BLTs. I think everyone agrees that BLTs are sandwiches. Because there are 2 loaves of bread. So, don't really have to argue that one. Of course, BLTs are sandwiches. They're just heated up a little. Sometimes they aren't, but I think good BLTs usually are. Hamburgers. Like I said, I don't have a problem with people who say hamburgers are sandwiches. I don't think it's really wrong because they're actually cooked. So it doesn't make that much sense. Also, they're on a bun. But fine, whatever. Call a hamburger a sandwich. But it's worse if you call a wrap a sandwich because there's a tortilla. And if there's a tortilla, it can't be a sandwich. Just like you can't put ham on a tortilla and then put another tortilla on it and call that a sandwich. If you really want to call that a sandwich, then you just don't make sense. So that's it basically just ruins your argument. And Pop-Tarts. Like I said, Pop-Tarts are pastries, not sandwiches. So I guess that'll conclude the video. I hope I answered any questions you had. Maybe made you think about your choices on what you think is a sandwich and not. And if you disagree with me, comment below. I'm willing to argue with you. I'm willing to debate you on what food should be classified as. But fair warning, I will win the argument because if you say that a hot dog is a sandwich, you just don't make sense. See you in the next video.